Alright, folks, so we really need to think long and hard about who we are voting into Congress. We actually have Democrats, right? Congressmen, Democrats all across the country, there's several of them. They're calling for Joe Biden to seize control and federalize Texas National Guard because, as you know, the Texas National Guard seized control of Shelby Park in Eagle Pass to prevent CBP agents access because they're just allowing migrants to flow right on in. Texas is like, no, we ain't having none of this. We're going to protect our borders. We're going to do everything we can for the safety and well-being of their citizens, and the Biden administration is trying to stop it. We have a terrible situation going on the southern border right now, and it's not with the migrants. It's between Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Joe Biden. What in the hell is going on? Joe Biden actually reaffirms his request to have the National Guard relinquish their control over Shelby Park. And Greg Abbott's like, hell no, dude, are you crazy? Basically, so Biden's admitting and openly saying to everybody, the entire world, that, hey, human smuggling is okay. It is okay for your government to work with the Mexican cartels to smuggle humans and drugs and all this other stuff across our southern border. That's the message that the Biden administration is sending out right now, and it's really, really aggravating. But other headlines, we've got the RNC. It appears to be going ahead and just nominating Trump as the GOP nominee. They're writing up a resolution to do so, even though Nikki Haley is, quote-unquote, still in the fight, right? That's kind of crazy. That was a little story I kind of looked into, and yeah, Nikki Haley is done, folks. Nikki Haley needs to get on her high horse and get the hell out of here. That's what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments section, folks. But what's up, everybody? How the hell's your day going? I hope y'all are having a pretty good one. This here is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date on exactly what the government is doing, the ins and outs, what the House is doing, what the White House is doing, all that stuff. We keep you up to date on that. So if you want to stay informed and stay up to date and know what your government is doing, smash that subscribe button for me and turn on your notifications. It sure would be a big help. And if I could get you to do me a favor right quick, look below the video and hit that thumbs up. Smash the like button kindly for me if you don't mind. It sure would be appreciated, and I would be very thankful. You know, like I've said before, I'm trying to get to a point one day where I can quit my job and do this for a living so I can keep people informed and keep you up to date on the government. So, if you don't mind, help me out. Share this video with anywhere and everywhere you can. But, what's up, y'all? Let's go ahead and get into some news today. I'm not going to cover the border because I've done that ad nauseum. I'm not going to cover Trump because we're tired of talking about Trump all the time. I'm not going to talk about Joe Biden. We're going to talk about some other stuff that's going on in the back of the minds of the mainstream narrative machine, which, by the way, is falling apart. There's all kinds of corporate media that are laying off hundreds and thousands of people at a time. Yeah, the corporate media, the mainstream narrative machine is falling apart, folks. So it's time to subscribe. But let's go ahead and get into some news right quick. Exclusive. House ethics probe of Matt Gaetz seeks information from DOJ and woman who allegedly had sex with congressman as a minor. Now, this stems from an investigation back in, I think it was like 2020, because the story came out in like 2021. The first time I saw this story was on Tucker Carlson Tonight. He actually interviewed Matt Gaetz when Matt Gaetz was still fairly unknown. This was actually when I started, about the time I started following Congress real close and started following Matt Gaetz, because I saw this and I'm like, oh crap, this is bad. We got congressmen doing stuff like this? And then come to find out, it's all BS. But now it's resurfacing. And you'll never guess why, folks. That's right, the machine. The House Ethics Committee investigating Rep. Matt Gaetz has reached out to the woman whom the congressman allegedly had sexual relations with when she was a 17-year-old minor, according to a source familiar with the committee's work. The outreach, which has not previously been reported, is a sign that the GOP-led committee's investigation into the Florida Republican has recently expanded to include questioning around allegations of sex crimes. That's right. Sources said the committee has also reached out to the Department of Justice requesting materials from its investigation into Gaetz, which included allegations of lobbying violations, sex trafficking, and possible obstruction of justice. Ooh. The federal probe, which also included allegations he had sex with a minor, concluded in 2023 with no charges brought against the congressman. So, right off the bat, the DOJ investigated this congressman, right? And at the time, that was Biden's DOJ. So that's a democratically led DOJ investigating a Republican from Florida. So you know they're going to be thorough. You know if there's anything there, they're going to charge Matt Gaetz with whatever they can charge him with. And they didn't charge him with anything because the allegations are all BS. So you might be thinking, why in the hell is the House Ethics Committee just now launching an investigation? Well, they've had this investigation open for a little while, but it's not going anywhere. And you'll probably never guess why. That's coming up here in a minute, folks. Gaetz has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, including ever having sex with a minor or paying for sex. Those allegations were not true, have never been true, and the people who spread those lies have been exposed, indicted, and imprisoned, Gaetz said in a response to CNN Wednesday. That's right. The people that spread these lies were investigated, were charged for other stuff, right? It was actually an associate of Matt Gaetz that was doing all this. That's why he was being investigated, because this associate or whatever was associating with Matt Gaetz. And like I said, the Biden's DOJ is definitely going to thoroughly investigate any Republican that has allegations against them. So they thoroughly went through that. And this guy's been put in jail. He's still in jail, I believe. But let's keep going. The Ethics Committee's outreach to the young woman and the Justice Department comes amid a new flurry of activity in the probe, including outreach to multiple other witnesses and starting to conduct witness interviews. The increased activity under Republican leadership is notable, given the committee probe was started by House Democrats in 2021. That's right. Like I said, the left is going after Republicans anywhere and everywhere they can. Gaetz, who led the charge to oust former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, has privately blamed McCarthy for the committee restarting its probe under the California Republicans' watch. There you go. That's what it is. But McCarthy has repeatedly denounced those accusations and has said Gaetz worked to oust the former speaker because of the ethics probe. No. I'm sorry, dude. That ethics probe has been going on since 2021, right? So you're telling me that Matt Gaetz is going to wait, what was it, 8-9 months of Kevin McCarthy being Speaker of the House before he decides to oust him? No. It was because Kevin McCarthy lied to the entirety of the Republican base, lied to the entirety of the American population, by saying he was going to cut spending and do all this other stuff, and we're not going to have all these bulk spending packages with all this BS. He lied to everybody, went behind Republicans' back, made a deal with the Democrats on some BS spending package that Mike Johnson actually just passed. That's right. So Mike Johnson is going to be in the hot seat now. So that's why McCarthy was ousted. Matt Gaetz is actually a good congressman standing up for what's right. He doesn't need all this corruptive crap going on. He's standing up for the truth. We need more people like Matt Gaetz. Ousted McCarthy, and I don't imagine that Mike Johnson is going to be in there very much longer either, considering how Mike Johnson is doing. Mike Johnson is failing, y'all. And it's very disappointing for me. I was a big supporter of Mike Johnson when I heard he was being nominated to be Speaker of the House. I was like, yay. He's a congressman from Louisiana, my home state. He doesn't represent my district. He represents the district just north of me. But, hey, he's from Louisiana. The guy's a good Christian. But he's making deals with the Democrats and not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not cutting spending, right? Seemingly could care less about our 34 point whatever trillion dollar debt. We have to cut spending in Washington, right? And there's no good reason, no good excuse for them not to cut spending in Washington. So that's why I tell people all the time, we need to watch who we are voting into Congress. Don't just go vote for your congressman because he's been your congressman for the last 16, 20 years. As a matter of fact, if your congressman has been your congressman for the past 16 or 20 years, it's probably time to get a new congressman. I don't believe them to be conservatives, McCarthy said in November, referring to the 8 Republicans who voted to oust him. No, on the contrary, those 8 Republicans are probably the only real conservatives in the House. The House Freedom Caucus has nothing but conservatives. All the other Republicans, I say the 8, but there's more like 20 that are probably actually conservative. The entirety of the Freedom Caucus is conservative. Some of them might be some rhinos here and there, a little bit rhino-ish, I guess you could say. But for the most part, they're conservative, and they're all about cutting spending because spending levels are insane. $1.5 trillion deficit. That's annual deficit spending. Yeah, that is insane, folks. It's driven by Gates, and it was all based upon an ethics complaint that happened in the last Congress. Right, like I said. He would throw his country away to protect himself for what would come out as the truth. That is a lie. That is an outright lie. It is an excuse coming from Kevin McCarthy. As a matter of fact, ousting Kevin McCarthy puts him in the crosshairs of everybody else in the House because, why? The entirety of the narrative machine went, oh no, the House is in chaos now because of these 8 Republicans. Well, these 8 Republicans are the only ones willing to stand up to say no more of this corruption. No more of this omnibus spending bullshit. No more of this. We have got to cut corners here. We've got to cut the fat. We've got to get rid of these pet projects. You know, stuff like a damn statue of Nancy Pelosi in San Francisco, or this park that has no business being where it is in Alabama. Stuff like that. They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars on a park to exemplify themselves, to put themselves upon a pedestal. That kind of spending needs to stop. We don't need to cut Medicare. We don't need to cut anything else. We need to cut out those pet projects, though, because it is insane the amount of stuff in those omnibus spending packages that are absolutely pointless. Just outright pointless. Like, what are you guys really freaking doing? You go to any American, they say, no, why would we want a statue of Nancy Pelosi? We don't need a statue of Nancy Pelosi, which is going to get torn down in 20 years once we realize exactly how corrupt Nancy Pelosi was. Probably one of the most corrupt Democrats in Congress right now. I believe she's going to retire after this Congress. But one of the most corrupt persons ever to serve in our government. And they're building a freaking statue, spending millions of dollars to build a statue of this person. It's wrong. And guess who authorized that statue to be built? Nancy Pelosi. How do you like your congressmen and women authorizing several $1 million to build a statue of themselves in their hometown? Yeah, I don't think anybody would agree with that unless it's some insane leftist nut job. They might be like, oh yeah, Nancy Pelosi's great. No, I'm sorry, but it's this kind of stuff that Matt Gaetz and Chip Roy, people like that, are standing up and saying, no, this has got to stop. But the only way to really get it to stop is to vote in more people like Matt Gaetz, like Chip Roy, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like Anna Paulina Luna. People like that. Byron Donalds. All those people. Those are all great congressmen. That is the kind of people. We need people that are actually willing to go up there and fight for cutting back spending. Washington has been said time and time again, Washington has a spending problem. And the real problem is there's 435 congressmen and nobody is willing to take the blame for the spending problem. So, guess what? They're all to blame. Except for the few people that come out vehemently against the spending, like Chip Roy, who makes these long drawn-out speeches railing against his fellow congressmen against all this spending, who always vote no against this spending. You go look it up, congress.gov. You can go look up your own congressman and see exactly what they voted for. If these people vote for these omnibus spending packages, don't vote for these people ever again. Ever again. Because it's that type of crap that has got us $34 trillion in debt. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments section, right? Do you think that Matt Gaetz ousted Kevin McCarthy because of this stupid ethics committee investigation? No, I doubt it. But let me know what you think. Or do you think that Matt Gaetz is actually trying to do the right thing for the American people and got rid of McCarthy because McCarthy lied? He betrayed the entirety of the Republican Party when he made that deal with the Democrats for that BS spending package. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. And that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want to thank everybody for watching. And like I said, make sure and look into your congressman really, really well. Congress.gov. Type in your congressman's name. You can go and see everything they've done, everything they've voted on, any speeches they've given, stuff like that. Go and see if you have a good congressman. I can say that for a lot of people in Florida, because 3 of those Republicans I named earlier are all from Florida. Byron Donalds, Anna Paulina Luna, and Matt Gaetz. Those are in Florida. Chip Roy, Southeast Texas. My congressman is He's in the Freedom Caucus, but he's I don't know about him. I don't think I'm going to vote for him again. It just depends on who is in the running. And let me know down in the comments if you want me to run for Congress. Give me a yes or no on that. And that's all I got. Like I said, thanks for watching, y'all. And y'all try to have a good day and be positive. Peace.